You ready?
Yeah.
All right, man. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
Yo, man. Huey P. Music, man. Fresh Preserves. TJ Yellow, man. Northwest artist. Just, on the rise, man.
Okay. Congratulations, man, on the new project.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I know everybody is asking. I know people want to know, how did you link with drama?
Man, so
But wait, real quick. What's the name of the project?
206253.
Okay.
Presented by the one and only DJ Drama.
It's a Gangsta Grillz project.
It is a Gangsta Grillz.
That's fire.
It is a Gangsta Grillz.
That's hella filthy.
Yeah, man, that was a blessing, bro. And prior to this, my bro TJ, man, he's always had his hands in everything. You know what I mean? So he was putting together an event. It was out in Tacoma.
Yeah.
And they brought Drama out, him and the homie Lake Show or whatever. And I wasn't there at first. I was already at the venue, and he went and picked him up from the airport or whatever.
That's the one that Famous spun at. Spun at that joint.
Yeah. And then what happened, man? So they come back, pull me aside. They're like, yo, Drama, heard some shit. He fucked with it, blah blah blah. Think you dope or whatever. And by that time, you know what I'm saying, he's spinning, he's doing this stuff or whatever. And then we linked after the show, just like, what's good? He's like, oh, you was the cat, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I like what I heard, what I mean? And that was like 2 years prior, bro. And, he was going through his, whatever, he had just became the director of A&R or something over there in Atlantic.
It's Atlantic, right?
Was it Atlantic? I think it's Atlantic. Touring a bunch of big things that was going on beforehand, and we were in the process of developing, like a newer sound, because from the old sound, I was like hardcore, soulful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like this new wave is like it seems like it is me. But it's different to the super day oneers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the people who are just catching wind, it sounds natural to them, you know what I mean? So I was in the phase of making that transition. So I was just studying for literally like almost 2 years before, you know what I mean, we really submitted what we wanted to do with Drum and them guys. And then in that process, man, we cooked a lot of music, we in and out of state, seeing what sounds where's, what are they doing here, what's happening here, and then what's happening back home. You know what I mean? And took the time to really build. We got, our connections in order. We had to, you gotta kind of like have a full campaign if you're gonna present something to, you can't
present shit half-assed.
You know what I mean? Like to a major, you're trying to come at a major level, you need to look like you have a well-running machine already before, you even step in the door if you want to be taken serious. So, just developed a sound that we trusted, developed, got the quality right. Shout out to my dude, Chris Pack, man, with Swayside Music. He did a lot as far as like bringing that quality and the things that we were missing beforehand, because it was never about the music, it was never the lyrics or anything. Like that was always there, it was just the quality. And then
you're not recording in the basement no more,
right? You know what I'm saying? We're not recording in a box with the dryer sheet over the joint. Like we're not doing that no more. So
got a question for you real quick, because I wanted to know, because I didn't know the transition, because before it was HARLEM, right? And how do you make the transition from HARLEM to Huey P?
With that, it was me and Mac. And once me and Mac decided that we weren't gonna do it as a duo anymore, I wanted to kind of like reborn. Feel like a
rebirth.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be like all right, this is my second chance, but my first opportunity to be, like me, my artist. I always did my own thing, but this was like the first debut. It's like I'm a full on solo artist. Boom. at the same time when that transition came, my son was born, and that is his name. So in the sense of like how I got the name Huey P, you know, my actual government name is Hugh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the play on the name has always been there. But in connections with, you know what I mean, the actual Huey P. Newton.
Yep. Dr. Huey P.
Yeah, Dr. Huey P. I felt this I don't want you to think it's far-fetched.
No.
I felt like, you know, if you think of who we learn about in school or who they praise to like the America, you know, you hear the Martin Luther King, you hear the Malcolm X, you hear the Mandelas. Like, you don't never really hear Huey P's name pop up.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I didn't learn about Huey P in high school. I don't know. He wasn't in Black History. When Black History come up, you don't really, he don't really get that shine for what he stood for and what he did. And being the artist that I was, I kind of felt like that way as, you know what I mean? Me being an artist, I felt like, you know, because when you talk about Huey P, you know he was for real. You know what I'm saying? You knew what he did.
So you mention his name, you got to know about him.
You know what I mean? You know about him. So it was like when cats that knew about me would tell you like, yo, he's nice. Like, you know what I mean? He's something to be reckoned with. But I felt like I just wasn't getting that respect. And you know what I mean? With the conscious mind that I do have and seeing what the influences are doing with our culture and how I was influenced and how our, you know, little homies and their little homies, and you know how the cycle goes, bro. It was a perfect mesh because I stand for what he stood for. He stood for what I believe in now, and how I feel like we should move as far as what's happening today. I'm not saying like, you know, as far as like they would say like we need to have us some guns put away, because they gonna come up in here and feel like they can do whatever they want with us. I'm not saying walk around and shoot police, but protect yourself. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And if you look about like what's happening now today with all these police killing people and you know what I'm saying, all of that, if we had the ability to protect ourselves, a lot of that wouldn't happen. Because it wouldn't be I feel like it's you know, empowerment for certain people to be able to have a gun and point it at somebody and be able to, you know, I have the ability to take your life right now. You know what I mean? But it's different when there's a gun pointed back at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It makes you calm down.
You gonna second guess about pulling that because you know that they're well protected. So you're not just gonna go in there. You know what I mean? And that's what they were about. Let's just be smart about what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's put, you know, so like all of those things tied in. It just represented the name, not only that, but the vision. It just represented what I wanted to do with myself and what I wanted to present to the world.
And I'm sure pass on to your son as well.
Yes, you know what I mean? Because I got seeds, you know what I'm saying? You got seeds. Everybody got these seeds, and the music that they're catching on to is poison, man. Yeah. And it's been that way. It's been that way. My little brothers and things like that. They're you know, it trickles down because they were learning the wrong things, and now they're grown up. Now they got little people under them looking up to them, but they're learning the wrong things because they learned the wrong things. And the cycle just continues, man. And
so, question: so when you transitioned to Huey P, what's the first project you dropped?
My first project is Huey P, man. Did I drop? I had a series of small EPs, bro, that I did at the end of 2015. So 14 going into 15, I want to say. I did a short series. There was High Hopes. There was Peace and Love. I want to say, what was that other one, man? High Hopes, Peace and Love. There was another one, dog. And then there was the Versatility tape.
I think the Versatility tape was my favorite one.
Yo. The Versatility tape, man, at that time, bro, I was in a bad place. And my mom's, you know what I'm saying, had this house out in Stilicum. You know what I'm saying? And there was a room in there. There was 2 rooms in there. So I'm in one room, but I had my setup. You know what I mean? I still have my studio setup and shit. So put that in the other room. I kid you not, fam. For I want to say 6 to 8 months. Like I did not leave that room, fam. That was the time where I learned how to record myself, how to mix certain things, how to get this to do that, what does this, how to learn that, bro. I spent a hardcore 8 to 6 months, man, punching all of that. Now, if you go listen to Versatility now compared to the stuff now, you can see the difference in the quality and things now. But I was just learning then. Yeah. You know what I mean? And being able to just do it when I want to, and that just opened up a whole nother dimension of where I could go with it. You know what I mean? Because in that time I made so much music that's still not heard. I have projects just aside that now I can go back and be like, oh, let's remix this whole project. Yeah. Put it out. You know what I mean? So yeah. If that answers the question, bro.
One of my favorite joints you ever dropped, and I'm gonna ask you if you remember this joint. It was called Romancing. You remember that joint?
That's me and the homie B Piff.
Man, what happened to him, man?
Romancing, oh there, we hold hands in it. Yeah,
and that was over the Allure beat.
Yes.
The Jay-Z joint. Yep.
That was Get Your Swag Right. Volume, bro. Listen. Cats think I'm bugging when I tell them like, yo, I was saying swag and shit before it got popular and motherfuckers
like 2009, 2010.
Bro, when we
remember that. I had that whole tape on my iPod. Matter of fact, somebody stole that iPod out of my car a couple years ago. Oh, it was like 2012, and I was sad because that was one of the tapes that I had on there. That I always made sure that whatever music I had. That tape was on there. Always, bro. I done played that for chicks and everything.
Bro, that is crazy that you said that. Because Romancing was so long ago. That was young Harlem, bro.
That was 2007, I would say. Yeah.
2007?
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
But to see that now, 2006, 2007, to be now 2016, right? And to see the growth, because at that point, I'm sure you didn't think to yourself, I'm gonna have a Gangsta Grillz tape.
No,
you know what I mean. And I'm pretty sure at that point, knowing you at that time, right? I don't know if you thought I'm gonna empower myself to own my shit and to do this. It was more like flashing lights. You said big dollars. You know what I'm saying?
And that was because that was at the time that was my influence.
Yeah, of course.
That's all I listened to. And so, like, you know, when it was coming off, it's like, all right, you know, I started finding ways to put myself in it, you know what I mean? But at that time, it became harder to make music because I was making the stuff up. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about how you pull out and let it ring and you got 10 chains, like all of that shit. Like, I was making that up at the time. Like, I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that at that time. I wasn't driving in this and doing a lot of the stuff that I was rapping about at that time. So it was cool at the time because I could do what I heard. You know,
it's fantasy rap.
And then people, you know, kind of fed off that and be like, yo, you're really dope. And then once I got the confidence and I saw, I don't know, when did that transition happen, man?
Going from the fantasy type shit to the real life. Now I got, this is real. This is what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? It started once, because at first it was like a lot of hardcore, like Just Blaze beats and shit like that. But once I got more so into like the soulful aspect of music, that's kind of when it brought out the real, like, me.
But you don't mean soulful as far as like the sound. You mean soulful as far as like being felt.
Just being felt, like, and even so a sound, bro. Because I didn't have that. Like, I've always grew up around like church and you know, that type of atmosphere, and then like, you know, some 70s and 80s music and stuff like that. It wasn't until I incorporated that kind of sound, bro, into my structure of music that it brought it out of me. Cause like I don't go into music trying to, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do this to that. It's like I hear it and this is what comes out. This is what the beat, the sound makes me do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these songs, like, oh, I got this idea, I just need a beat for it. It don't work like that with me. It's like, yo, I heard this beat, boom, 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 and it started bringing different things out of me. And you know what I mean? The more it became easier to make these songs because it was coming from a real place. Right. You know what I mean? It wasn't coming from a fantasy, like you were saying. Like, it wasn't a fantasy rap. It was real life. So it made it a lot easier because I'm talking about my life now. Right. And I can do it in the same matter that I was talking about that fantasy shit. So now, you know what I mean? No, now they're like, yo, you sound like you could actually spit on this level, but you're talking some real shit. So
do you think that every artist kind of goes through that, or a lot of artists go through that?
I feel like every artist gets to that point, but not every artist can make the transition. Because say I make a track called Murder, Kill, you know what I mean, and it goes platinum. And then, you know, these artists sign these deals and they do whatever, but then the label wants murder, kill. So at that time, when I'll get through my, you know, my enlightenment stage where I'm like, yo, I want to talk about what's really going on with my life. They don't give a fuck. Right. They don't want that. And then, you know, that process happens. You know what I mean? But a lot of people can, like, make that transition to be like, all right, I can give you this mainstream sound or whatever, but then make the transition to incorporate, like, real life. Like, somebody that did that in a dope fashion to me was Young Jeezy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a super Jeezy fan, but I respected his music because when he first came into it, he sounded like every other trap rapper. But it wasn't until he put that, you know what I'm saying, like himself and his reality into what he was saying. Like, I don't, somebody might feel like he's always done that. There was just a point where, you know, it hit me where I felt like it was coming from a more real life perspective. Right. And
as opposed to just what's being propagated by the labels and
you know what I mean, talking about slanging. It went from I feel talking about the slang and talking about what he learned from the slang. Once he started talking about what he learned from the slang, that's when it clicked to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it was like it was at first it's like a glorifying stage where, you know what I mean, you're glorifying like damn near the ignorance that's going on around you until you realize, like, what am I doing? Right. Now let me tell you, I can still give you the same stories, but let me tell you what I learned from it so that you can get some type of knowledge out of this. Right. And that's when you know, certain artists like such as him and you know, various other artists that can make that transition, bro. But like I said, it's not every artist can, you know, they go through it, but they can't always make that transition. Okay. Because, you know, you're stuck in your ways for so long. You know what I mean? If you get popping off a whatever type of track, you're doing that song every show. Right. You're doing that song everywhere you go. You know what I mean? You get stuck in that mode. So where if you try to transition to something else, it might not. It's too hard. It's too hard, bro. And that's what amazes me about like Drake. Because I, as an artist, know how hard it is to switch your whole format of rapping, making music, and all of this stuff. And of course, you know, you go in on about having writers and this, and the third, but it's so hard to have different formulas and formats of rapping and making music every project and every, you know what I mean? Like, it's so hard. So, you know, it's a heavy transition that not everybody can make, bro.
So the question I have for you, so you're joining this title 206 253.
Yes.
Right? Now, you didn't spend a lot of time in Seattle, right?
Well, I spent what do you mean by time?
Well,
as far as like living?
Yeah, living, going to school, that type. The reason I say that is because Seattle is very proud, as you know, people love the town, and you know what I'm saying. There's always this thing. There's like Seattle and there's the outlying areas and people from Seattle are not quick to claim those people. You know what I'm saying? And the stigma is always that people from those outside areas want to claim Seattle. But I noticed that your joint's called 206-253, and I'm assuming that it's from Seattle to Tacoma.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And that falls all into the vision. Like spending time like there, like in the actual Seattle, you know what I mean? And learning what I learned from that atmosphere and the people that you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you know, a lot of the cats I fuck with got family there. It's not like my family is there, or you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that type of situation. So when I was in the city, I was either with the homies, you know what I'm saying, or I was making certain type of moves once I got in that period in life where it was like a lot of hustling and you got to be where it's at. So you got to maneuver where you maneuver.
Did you ever catch any heat from like not living in Seattle?
No.
Okay.
I've never once got approached on a matter where they're like, yo, you ain't from, because they hear, like when you hear what I'm saying and what I'm talking about, I'm not talking to like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I was, you know, I'm not naming blocks and different things like that. I'm representing this as a whole. And I say Seattle and Tacoma as in when you look on that map of Washington, you see Olympia, you see Seattle, you see Tacoma, whatever, but you don't really see King, Renton, Federal Way. You don't see none of these spots. Auburn, Fife, in different, you know what I'm saying? I've in my life, I've lived everywhere from Tacoma to Seattle, literally, and everywhere in between. I've lived in all of these different places due to how I came up. You feel me? I went to school in Federal Way. I went to school in Kent. I went to school in Covington. I damn near went to school with this nigga at Cleveland. I was a phone call away from going to Cleveland, which would have been a bad choice for me because the influence of the people at that time, I would have been doing some whole other shit. You know what I'm saying? My mind wouldn't have been where it was had I not been in a position when living in Renton, you know what I'm saying? Or Tukwila, my nigga. I done lived in all of these different places. I done got knowledge. I done got money. I done learned lessons in all of these different places. To the city, to the West Seattle, South End, whatever it is, Burien. Like I done learned lessons in all these places. So when I put all of everything that I've learned into this music, I'm speaking of it as a whole. And I feel like the response when people hear what I'm saying in the music, they respect it and they see it more so as like yo, that's a good look for the city. They're more supportive than somebody approaching me like, yo, you ain't from, you can't claim here. I've never been approached like that ever. Because I don't bring that type of energy. I'm not here like banging a set or banging a street. I fuck with whoever's about the same vision. You know what I'm saying? I got my brother Mac, my brother's from the city. My other brother's from the South End. You know what I'm saying? Like I got brothers from the West. I got brothers in Tacoma. I got from the Hilltop to Lakewood, bro, to still come to the East Side. I got people everywhere, fam. I got people everywhere, and it's because of the love that we've shown and the love that, you know, we give back. They've done nothing but show me back, bro. It's never been that type of vibe. It's never been that type of thing. It's never been.
Okay. I had that.
Oh yeah, you got to. Some cats wonder, be like, you're not from here. But I've never been the type of cat to be like, yo, I'm from boom, boom. If I'm out of state somewhere, I'm from Seattle. Because they know that. You know what I mean? They know. I can't name nowhere else that they would really know. Or just off of recognition. If I'm somewhere, I got a Seattle hat on, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. They know, they can recognize that.
The Mariners, the Seahawks.
You know what I mean? There's not a lot of things that people. When I say yo, I'm out of state, I'm saying from Washington. They be like, you from DC?
That happens a lot, actually.
Nobody expects me to be, you know, you from Washington. It's like, no, bro. So
like this white people in Washington?
Like, you guys are out there? It's like, yeah, bro.
My next question to you is, now that this is there, 206-253 Gangsta Grillz, right? It's on a national platform. Right. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
What's next? Where do you want to go with it? And what is a dream collaboration for you?
Well, what's next is like now that I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, with the Did You Get the Message that I dropped the beginning of the year to this 206253, which everything is available, iTunes. You know what I mean? Music. Yeah, the next step I say is like that was like the setup. You know what I mean? Like with the big project, the big platform, that's the attention grabber.
Right.
And now people are asking like, what are you gonna do with that attention? Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm ready for that step. You know what I mean? I'm well prepared as far as music and having that set up. Now, what's the next steps are? You know, you hit them with a lot of visuals, a lot of shows, touring, a lot of things that's getting the music out there and getting my face exposed.
Right.
Getting my name out there and getting the vision out there, man. So that's just a lot of marketing, a lot of press, a lot of putting myself in different positions to gain the best exposure, you know, possible, touring, getting, you know, your merchandise.
Tour.
Yeah. Tour. Has to be. There has to be. You know, getting your merchandise in order. Getting your branding in order, getting your team structured. It's
very important.
You know, I don't want to take off too fast and not have a stable team in place, you know, to keep this motor running.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can kind of jump the gun sometimes because the opportunity is there, but at the same time, you want to take your time. And even though you can go at that moment, it might be like, all right, hold on, let me pace this thing. You know what I mean? Because one of my OGs just told me, momentum is everything, and you wanna. It's like a marathon, man. You want to pace yourself. You don't want to hit that last leg of the 200 too hard, so you can't hit that boost down to 100. You know what I mean? It's coming though. It's all there. You know what I mean? This has been planned very strategically, and. I'm ready, bro. I can say that. I'm ready. So the next steps in of what big collaborative I would want to do.
What's the dream project, man? What's the dream collaboration?
Man, like, listen, brother, like, I want to work with people like Lupe, you know what I'm saying? I want to work with, like, you know, of course, the Cole, the Ken, you know, the regular cats of our era, but I want to work with, like, the cats I really went with, like Beanie Siegel, bro. If I could get cooked with Beanie, if I could get cooked with like Lupe, if I could get cooked with Jada Kiss, and you know what I mean, like those are the people who I really, you know, Mos Def. If I could cook, you know, Andre, Erica, like Jill Scott,
legends of our era.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I came up, man.
Beanie Siegel joint would be nice, but you get a joint with Cassidy.
I got to join with Cassidy and that was a blessing because, you know, that was somebody that, you know, I was rocking with Cassidy tough when he first dropped, and all his freestyles, I knew all his shit. I knew, you know what I mean, all his tapes, you know, it just like I knew, like Joe Budden, he was huge, you know what I mean, for me, you know what I mean, cats like Nas and shit.
You know Nas is coming.
I need it all, bro.
I need here next month.
We're
shooting for him, so if you wanna.
Yeah,
you should be.
I'm gonna be in position, bro. Like, because I need all of that, man. So just all of them type of cats, man. That would be a dream collaborative for me, man.
Well, let me wrap this up, man. I appreciate you. It's been a long time coming, man.
No doubt, bro. This is meant to be, bro. This is supposed to have been done like some years ago.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad you can use it and capitalize on it, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully I can help you feed the process and feed the wheel.
Definitely, man. Everything helps, brother. Huey P, marsupials, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's good to see, you know, and over this whole course of time, we've just been moving in like the same direction, just everybody progressing in their different fields and shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful to see.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a beautiful thing.
No worries, bro. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, brother, man.
Absolutely.
Not the other man, because the other man ain't the brother, man. Real. What do I do with that napkin? And yeah, these lights is cooking, nigga.
That's what they do. I told you.
Ooh, slow roast.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling everybody, man, look, man, lights is gonna be hot. That's cool. So no, fam, these are
like they go cook, man.
All good, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.